Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of a film that was recommended to me on my channel, on my Human Centipede 2 review. The film that I have watched recently is called Grotesque. It's a Japanese torture porn film, I'll tell you that now, so if you're not interested in that kind of film, don't watch this review. I'm going to be talking about the whole film. I'm going to be doing the key plot points, seeing as there is no plot in this film, and the ending, and what I thought was good about it, what I thought was bad about it, and what I felt about it as a whole. I will be going into a lot of detail, so if you haven't seen the film or just want to hear about it, either stay and watch, but be warned, there is spoilers. Okay, so this film, Grotesque, was released in 2009. The BBC initially banned it. I haven't looked into it anymore to see if it's been unbanned, but on Wikipedia it said that the company that made the film did release it, but it was released without a certificate, so I don't really understand that. The film's about this couple that get kidnapped by a sadistic doctor who tortures them and makes them do horrible things for his sexual pleasure. It kind of reminds me of the Human Centipede 2. The film as a whole is absolutely crap. The storyline, well, there is no storyline. The only aspect of story is hinted at the end, which is kind of the motive of the killer, but then it isn't really explained very well, and it's a rubbish motive, Okay, so we've got the first couple minutes of the film, and he kidnaps these people, chains them into a dungeon. It's kind of a bit like Hostel, but worse because he's like doing it sexually. He keeps saying stuff like "make me horny," which is horrible. And the first 20 minutes of the film, I'd say, is him raping this girl, which is absolutely disgusting. It's just like quite hard to sit through. It's just horrible. Then he becomes a little bit more gore orientated. So he straps them down to two tables on the side, and he gets a chainsaw, and he cuts the man's fingers off of his hand. Then he gets a needle and sews through like a necklace with all of his fingers and attaches it to the girl's neck. I don't understand why this is done. It's not really very nice, but it's a bit pointless. Then the man is told that he has to make a sacrifice to save the woman, and this sacrifice will turn on the doctor, and if he gets turned on enough, then he will release both these people. And the thing he does here is he gets some 9-inch nails and a hammer, and he nails his testicles in extremely graphic detail with all the noises and thuds. The one thing that I thought was lacking in this scene was the screaming. The man doesn't really scream at all, and I think with a situation like that you would scream a lot. It's really hard to sit through that scene because it's got you hear the thud and the crunch of the balls, and it's not very nice. And then like a couple of times within this scene you'll get a close-up shot of the balls with the nails in. He nails about 5 of these things and it's horrible. Then the woman screams, I believe, and the doctor grabs a pair of these rusty old scissors, pulls her nipples up and chops them off, which is horrible. And then the man, the man's told that if he allows the doctor to cut off his dick, then they can both go free of charge. Well, not free of charge, I mean they've lost their nipples and their balls and their dick, but this guy thinks, okay, I'll let him do this, I might as well, my balls have been stapled to a table. So the doctor cuts off his penis, which is rather horrible, and it's even more disgusting is his reaction to it. He's like really excited by this penis, and it's just like a penis in his hand. Then there is a plot change, and I really did enjoy this. The doctor then puts the two in beds and treats to their wounds that he has caused. He's fixed them up. He's like sewn them back together, which was horrible. But he kind of like fixes them up, and he says that they're going to be free. The bit before what I've just mentioned is probably the hardest thing to sit through the film, so if you are going to carry on watching the film, you might as well. I mean, the ending, we'll get to that in a minute. The two stay in his care and are getting treated, and they think they're going to get away with it, and they both said that if they both live from this ordeal, then that they will get together and live together because of what they've been through, which is a really shit story arc, and it's just, the film's just there for the violence and sadistic torture. But as a little twist, the couple then wakes up to find that they're strapped to the table again and face up as well, and the doctor says, "You haven't excited me sexually enough," which is so horrible, and he explains to the man what he's going to do to him. And when he says it in the film, he says he's going to cut around his anus and pull out his intestines. So I was like almost gagging at the thought of that, and then the film doesn't use that. In the film, he cuts open his stomach and then pulls out his intestines and hangs up the intestines onto a rope and says, "Go and cut the girl free, and if you do manage to cut her free without dying, then she can go, and she's alive. Would you really die for her?" And the guy gives it his all, and he falls on the floor. Now, the final final-ish scene of the film is about the girl and the killer, and the girl's strapped up to a table, and you find out that the killer's mother was a prostitute, and that, it's highly hinted that he had sexual intercourse with his mother, and she was the only one that would have sexual intercourse with him, which is why he's such a fucked up person. But that's just an excuse for the whole of the film. It's a horrible story arc, it's not even remotely interesting. And then the final death of the film, which made me laugh out loud, I really was not expecting it. After all the horrible torture and stuff's happened, the man grabs a chainsaw and goes into her stomach with it, and it blood flying everywhere. It's just like a slasher film. And then the guy picks up an axe and swings it at her head, and at the moment of impact, all this blood just gushes out, like an absurd amount of blood. There wouldn't have been that much blood, it's just like blood everywhere. And then the head, whilst flying through the air, is still moving, and it flies through the air and angles itself while it's flying so it can direct itself, and then the head of the woman bites the neck of the killer. And it's just so absurd. I couldn't help but have a little bit of a laugh. I mean, it's a horrible film. After all you've sat through, it's just it's a bit of comic relief, really. I really wasn't expecting. His head just flies through the air, grabs onto his neck and rips a bit off, and then lands, and it's all sad, because both the people are dead and the killer's lying there. But then at the end of the film, it goes back into the cyclical nature of the killer, and he's in a car ready to kill another woman or abduct her. Okay, that was the whole of the film. This hasn't been much of a review. Honestly, there hasn't been much to review, just the horrible scenes from within the film. The film is all in Japanese with Japanese subtitles. Maybe there was an issue in translation with some of the scenes, but the dialogue is absolutely crap. The way it makes you feel is how these films are meant to do, but it's just this film doesn't have a point at all. The whole film is pointless. The story is crap, and the little twist at the end with the little your mother was a prostitute thing was absolutely shit. I could have thought up something better than that, and that might have been one of the reasons why it wasn't rated in the UK. I think it was because of the sadistic violence, and the torture has got no motive. This film was, as I said, came out in 2009. If you want to watch a film just to sit through, which is absolutely horrific, just to see if you can, I'm not sure if I'd put it up to The Human Centipede. I cringed a hell of a lot with the testicle scene, but The Human Centipede, stapling, spewing shit all over the place was kind of horrible. I'm saying The Human Centipede 2, number 1 was alright, 2 was yeah, so if you want to see this film, you can do. I really wouldn't recommend it. Only if you're into like torture porn, and this really is like torture porn. It's just shit. It really wasn't very entertaining. The effects are good, I have to say that, but the acting is alright, but it's just a bit of a crap. Like, it's a bit like, you know how like they've released a load of slasher flicks which are just like low quality slasher films. They've just done this as like a low quality torture porn film. Not that torture porn films are very good quality, but you can tell that this is terrible quality as soon as you begin it. Yeah, so also this film has like that rape scene in, which is completely pointless. I mean, rape really isn't a very nice subject at all in films, and but in this film it's just done and it's just there. Like, there's not really any reason like in the film, but it isn't as bad as, say, the film I Spit on Your Grave, and you can see the motive and they're just like horrible. I might do a review of that maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, this has been my review of Japanese film Grotesque. This film is a 2 out of 10. Honestly, it's such a crap film, but if you're into that kind of stuff, you might like it. Maybe. I don't know, I didn't. It was crap. Also, you may have seen some of my reactions to it at the start of this video. Just thought I'd make this to put on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I wouldn't recommend it, but I am thinking about watching a Serbian film sometime soon to do a review of that. I mean, I've seen this is pretty horrible, and the Serbian film's a bit more like plot driven, and the acting's actually good in it, so maybe in the future. But that's all, guys. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Best line in the movie ever. Your armpits stink.